So today I want to go over what seems to be another glitch in Diablo 4 that will allow you to upgrade certain legendary aspects if you follow a specific method. And we're going to compare this method with how people normally go about applying new legendary aspects and upgrading their gear and showing the differences between the two. And this is along the same lines as my last video, so I'd also recommend going and watching my last video because there's another way to kind of get the same effect. And the basis of this method is that if you get a legendary piece of gear with a legendary aspect that has a flat damage roll on it, you can upgrade that legendary piece of gear, which will also upgrade the aspect on it before you extract that legendary aspect. But once you extract that aspect, it will keep the upgraded stats. And you can actually get a glimpse of this just going to one of the upgrade stations and putting that item into it and looking at the first upgrade. So as you see here, we have this legendary piece of gear with a legendary aspect that has a flat damage roll on it, and this is currently doing 2,331 in lightning damage. But once we go check the preview of upgrade 1, the flat damage roll on this upgrades up to 2,424, and that's just upgrade 1. This will upgrade more and more with all 5 of the upgrades we can put on this. And I also have a ring here that's going to do the exact same things. So we're actually not going to upgrade this totem, and we're going to use this as one of our comparisons. So first we're going to start off with showing the way you would normally go about upgrading gear and applying new aspects. So we're actually going to remove the aspect from this totem. Now remember, we just looked at this, and if we upgraded this, it would actually increase the lightning damage roll on this. But if we go ahead and extract this, it's going to keep the same damage roll at a baseline. And then we're going to go and imprint this on these legendary gloves. And if we go to the aspect and we imprint this, it's keeping the exact same damage roll, 2,331. And as you can see, when we imprinted that legendary aspect onto these gloves, it kept the exact same damage roll. So now we're back at the blacksmith, and we're going to try to upgrade these legendary gloves. And if you go to the preview window, you'll notice that the legendary aspect is not being upgraded like it would have been if we upgraded the totem before extracting the legendary aspect. So this is the normal way people would go about upgrading their gear. And this would work in the exact same way if you say upgraded these gloves and then put this legendary aspect on it. This legendary aspect still wouldn't upgrade like it would have if we upgraded the totem before removing the aspect. So now we're going to go and show the way you should be doing it on this legendary ring that also has the same aspect roll. So now we have this legendary ring with a legendary aspect that has a flat damage roll on it, and we're going to start to upgrade this. And this is how the ring was looted. This isn't an imprinted legendary aspect on it. And as you'll see, the ring is currently at 2,787 for the flat damage roll. But if we go to the preview, once we upgrade it, it'll go up to 2,899. So we're going to upgrade this ring to the maximum it can be. And now the ring's damage roll is 3,014. So now we're going to take this and extract this legendary aspect. So now if we go to extract this legendary aspect from the ring, you'll see that the damage number is staying the same. So we increase the roll of this legendary aspect by upgrading the ring first, then extracting the legendary aspect from it. And then if we go over to the same pair of gloves, we can put this legendary aspect on the gloves, and as you'll see, it's keeping the higher damage roll. So it's keeping the upgraded roll from that ring. So if you get an item that has a legendary aspect that has a flat damage roll on it, you always want to upgrade that item first before extracting the legendary aspect, because that's going to increase the damage of the legendary aspect once you put it on the piece of gear you actually want to use. And if it's a legendary aspect with a roll range, this one doesn't actually have it, but if it has a roll range, say this roll could be 2,000 to 3,000, the upgrade can actually go past the roll range of the legendary aspect. So now we're going to imprint that aspect onto these gloves, and as you'll see when they're actually on the gloves, they kept that upgraded damage roll. And just to show you again, if we take these gloves back to the blacksmith and try to upgrade them, it's going to keep the exact same flat damage roll. So if you're using a build with a lot of legendary aspects that have flat damage rolls, you're going to want to start doing this anytime you want to imprint a new aspect for that build. You're going to want to upgrade that original piece of gear that has the aspect aspect on it first, then extract the legendary aspect, because that's going to massively increase your damage. Because also keep in mind that these flat damage rolls are the base damage. This is before any of the damage scaling in your build. If I was a full lightning build, this 3000 damage would potentially have thousands of percent of damage scaling on top of it. So even increasing this base damage roll by like 10% could just be a ridiculous increase to your actual damage output. And I know this has been a little bit confusing, but the TLDR is if you find a piece of gear with a legendary aspect on it that has a flat damage roll and you want to use that legendary aspect, upgrade that piece of gear before extracting the legendary aspect. It's going to just massively increase your damage. But that's all I want to go over, so thanks for watching.